Be sure to consult a physician before performing this or any exercise program. This is especially important if you or your family has a history of high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. It is your responsibility to evaluate your own medical or physical condition and to determine whether to perform or adapt any of the exercises in this Focus on Fitness episode. The use of any information provided in this Focus on Fitness episode is solely at your own risk. If you start to feel any pain or discomfort while exercising, stop immediately and contact your doctor or healthcare professional.
Focus on fitness. You didn't even know you had a muscle there. Goals, man. Goals. Love it.
15 seconds. You're doing great. Hold it.
A plank. A plank is a full body exercise, and it's a love-hate exercise, actually.
5, 4, 3, 2, and rest.
It's worth it.
Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and in the studio with me is Maria Johnson, aka Girl Gone Blind. How you doing?
Hey, Jeff. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good myself. And we got a new series we've been talking about, and I'm just going to let you tell them because you are the fitness guru.
Well, I try. Well, Jeff, you and I have been talking a little bit about doing a series called Focus on Fitness. And I think it was a great idea, and I'm all in to give the listeners little nuggets of fitness that they can incorporate into their daily life or weekly life, however often they want to do it. We thought it might be something people would want to step up into and better their health in not only mentally, but physically.
Yeah, I really like that. Focus on fitness. Little nuggets. I like it.
Yeah. Well, we've got a few we're going to throw out there, and I think the listeners are going to love it.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your background in fitness?
Yeah, I've been a group fitness instructor for, almost 18 years. And I still teach group fitness to this day. Even with vision loss 5 years ago, I kept with it. I was not going to let my vision loss take away my ability to teach group fitness classes. I still teach several times a week, and it's something that I found a passion for many, many, many years ago. Again, it's just part of my everyday life, my every week. Yeah.
I really like what you're saying that, with vision loss, because most of our listeners out there have blindness and vision loss. And with that in mind, you are going to be able to describe things maybe in a better way than just a regular video.
Well, I would hope so. I do tend to describe more in my classes now than I did when I was fully sighted, for the reasons that, if I can't see them very clearly, I definitely want to make sure they are paying attention to my verbal cues so that they are doing whatever the exercise is correctly. I talk it out not only for the participants, but also for myself so that I am doing everything correctly so that when they look at me, they can also see the correct form. So it's made it kind of easy for me to be able to audio describe. It's something that actually, has come quite easily for me. I have taught fitness classes, not hardcore, at the local Braille Institute. And, it really did take my audio description of exercises to a whole nother level because I had never really taught to folks who were blind or visually impaired. I realized that there are folks out there who, one, have never done any exercise, but two, when you describe a movement and you say it's like climbing a ladder of sorts, some of these folks didn't really know what a ladder was. They'd never seen one because they were blind since birth. You really have to get creative when it comes to describing. That's what I hope to bring to the table here by talking fitness for the folks who are listening.
Well, that's great. And Maria, we're talking about just getting something to get people started, planting the seeds to get these little nuggets into their daily routine.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to be describing a whole class. Not doing that. I do that as my, on the off time when I'm not podcasting.
And we're talking about this series is going to be like 15-minute segments to give you a little taste, give you a little idea of something to do like between commercials or while you go out and get in a drink of water or something of that nature, something that there's no reason not to just incorporate it into your daily, everyday routine.
Yeah, something that can be done in your own home or simply by walking out your front door. With transportation being an issue, let's keep it as simple as possible. And the simpler it is, the easier it is to incorporate into daily activity.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like what you said when we were discussing this, planting the seeds.
Yes, planting the seeds. And anything we talk about, Jeff, I think we can plant the seed and then folks can actually grow with it. They can take it to the level they want for their own health and fitness.
What we're doing is just trying to ignite something here. I know there's many times like I'm watching a show and a commercial comes on, and that might be a good time to try something. You got those little windows, there's 30 seconds or a minute or something. Hopefully we give you some ideas to do. I go out and get a drink of water, and I always do these things where I lean against the counter and I do push up against it. Now, it's not a full workout by no means, but if you do 10 of them and then you end up doing it like 3-4 times throughout your afternoon or day, it's kind of neat. You did them. You can feel it.
Yeah, think about it. That could turn into like 50 push-ups, which no one's going to do in one session. You can do the same thing with, I call it sink squats. And every time you go to the sink, be it to wash your hands, wash dishes, whatever it is, if you're near a sink, you do a set of 5 or 10 squats right then and there. And again, like the push-ups, Jeff, before you know it, if you've done it 5, 6, 10 times, just do the math. Think about how many you do, which no one is going to do that in one fall swoop. Breaking exercise down into little counts of 5 or maybe little 10-minute sessions, and you do it 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, that counts. You don't have to do everything in an hour. That counts throughout your day and throughout your home. If you think about all the places there's a counter or a table or a sink, you can get a lot done.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you're the instructor. I suggested 5. You already got me up to 10.
Yeah. Goals, man. Goals.
This is the idea, just to find little spots in your daily routine where you can do this. It's not like you got to get ready and put on shoes, get on the spandex and head to the gym, get a membership and all that stuff. It's just stuff that you can do. And you're going to be explaining what a squat is or what a push-up or what anything is. So you're going to get a good fundamental start to just these little, as you call them, nuggets.
Yes. And I like what you said. It's just to ignite the fire. Let's find the spark to do it. Maybe you used to be into fitness and, maybe you used to do a lot of workouts and maybe that's just kind of slipped away. Well, this is your opportunity to just do a little bit at a time. Jeff, they say, if you go work out 5 days a week and 2 hours a day, boom, you're going to be burnt out so fast. You're never going to want to do it again. But it's these little things to incorporate through the day that is maintainable. And that's what I hope folks will take away with them, is that these are little things that will spark their interest and then they can continue and maintain it without feeling overwhelmed or, overworked, in their life. And that's what people will keep doing.
And nobody's watching.
Nobody. You can wear whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But you can listen to whatever music you want. You can do it in your pajamas. Who cares, right? You're just in your own home. You go out to get that cup of coffee in the morning. You're by a sink. So you're doing your squats in your, pajamas, or, you're doing your counter push-ups in your pajamas, but hey, think about it. That cup of coffee's brewing. Yeah, it's worth it.
So there's going to be a lot of little ideas that we're going to throw out there. But like Maria said, if you have ideas that you've been doing that's working for you, send them in and you can contact at info@blindabilities.com. And let's leave you with a little nugget right here. Can you describe to the listeners, what is a plank?
A plank. A plank is a full body exercise and it's a love-hate exercise, actually. It does wonders for the entire body, but it can be difficult, if you're not in as good a shape as you had hoped you are. But that doesn't mean you can't try it and start out with, say, 10 seconds of holding a plank. So what people do is they do plank holds. And you're down in a push-up position, but you're not moving up and down. You can do a long arm plank, which is when you're on the ground. Make sure you have enough room. You're on the ground and your wrists and hands are right below your shoulders in an extended arm. You're flat like a plank all the way down to being on your toes. So again, you're on the ground, wrists under your shoulders in an extended arm. You got your toes slightly spread to keep balance. You're just going to hold that. You're going to hold it for 5 or 10 seconds. Maybe take a break. Hold it again for 5 or 10 seconds. Maybe do that a few times. But the point is you want to build up holding that plank for longer periods of time. If you really want to get crazy, you can go down onto your elbows where your elbows are lined up with your shoulders and your hands are just clasped right there in front. No need to do anything with your head. Just keep that aligned with your neck when your neck's aligned with your spine. A plank can be done anywhere. Now you can get down on the floor and hold that plank for that commercial. If it gets too much, but you don't want to quit, just come down on your knees. Bring your knees down for a second. Give that body a little bit of a break. Go back on your toes. But you're never losing that plank. You're still in it. Don't give up. Don't just say, I can't do it. Just come down to your knees and hold for 10 seconds. There you go.
I like to think of it as like a frozen push-up in midair. You know, you're just like holding it. I remember there was a fad that people were taking pictures of planks all over the world. It was kind of odd. It was like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a full core all the way from head to toe. So it's a neat thing to do.
Yes, yes. It will hit every part of the body. And the longer you hold, the stronger your core becomes. And you do see plank challenges, come across social media where for a week you'll do it for 10 seconds. The second week you'll do it for 20 seconds. Third week you're doing 30-second plank and you work your way up within a month to, do the math. You're, holding a plank for, could be a minute or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
At the end of the month. So, you can always carve out a little timeline like that, weekly, up it, double it or up it 10 or 15 seconds for the month.
Up your fitness.
Really focus in on that plank.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I find in planks is that you do have to kind of focus in and be present on that plank. Be present, hold it tight. You can just count to 10 and be done with it. If you start drifting off to Never Never Land, you may lose your form and you may lose what you're, the intention of what you're doing with your muscles. It's a good one. It's a good one. And it's bittersweet, like I said.
The thing is, if you're feeling pain, don't do any of this. Consult someone. This is just ideas that if you want to get started on it, to give this stuff a try, but make sure that you're not going to be hurting yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you have any kind of injuries or reoccurring injuries that you're always watching and be careful with, please keep that in mind when we talk about the different ideas that we have. Always be sure to stretch. After any exercise, just give a little stretch. Doesn't have to be much, especially if we're just doing little bits and pieces. And also hydrate. Keep up that water. And that goes for, doing anything. Keep that water up too.
I think the stretching part that you mentioned, I think that's a good thing, like in the morning or something, the day after. It really connects you, brings back to memory what you've been doing because you'll be able to feel it. And it just connects you with what's going on. And it does feel good to be aware of your body and your fitness being firm or tone. So hopefully some of this will just get you more aware of it and then it'll play out for the good.
Yeah. I've had many of my participants at the gym will say to me, I'll teach a class and 2 days later they're back in class and going, that one thing you did on, on the other day? Wow, I really feel that, be it in their waistline or their, glutes or in their shoulders. You just might find that a few things that we talk about are going to hit places that, you didn't even know you had a muscle there. So, there's something about that muscle soreness. I'll say for me that just gives you, like you said, body awareness, but also, you've worked the muscle and you're actually making change. You're actually making change in that muscle because if it wasn't sore, you're not really making any changes. I don't want it to be, so painful that you're at the ER, but it should just be that small bit of muscle soreness so you've hit the right muscle.
Well, look forward to the next show because this is something that we thought we'd start, something that you can look forward to. There'll be short little 15-minute little segments. I think this Focus on Fitness series is good. It's going to be good for me because it's going to put it into my daily routine just to do those little things and they add up.
They do add up. And, to be honest here, I could certainly use a little bit more activity in my life as well. So it's definitely going to spark a little bit of fire for me too.
Oh, that's great. Well, Maria, I'm sure the listeners are going to enjoy the series Focus on Fitness. Why don't you tell the listeners where they can find Maria Johnson, aka Girl Gone Blind, on social network.
Thanks, Jeff. I think this can be a lot of fun. And I hope folks will have not only a good time, but might laugh a little bit through it. Again, if it's not fun, why do it? That's what I always say. As you said, I do write a blog, and my blog is called Girl Gone Blind, and you can find it at girlgoneblind.com. You can find me on Facebook at Girl Gone Blind and on Twitter at girl_gone_blind.
Be sure to consult a physician before performing this or any exercise program. This is especially important if you or your family has a history of high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. It is your responsibility to evaluate your own medical or physical condition and to determine whether to perform or adapt any of the exercises in this Focus on Fitness episode. The use of any information provided in this Focus on Fitness episode is solely at your own risk. If you start to feel any pain or discomfort while exercising, stop immediately and contact your doctor or healthcare professional.
Stay tuned for more episodes of Focus on Fitness right here on Blind Abilities. And remember to enable the Blind Abilities skill on your Amazon device just by saying Enable Blind Abilities. And most importantly, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations and the realities
of blind abilities. The realities of blind abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, Blind Abilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.